This is Carl at National RV Detroit, and I'm going to walk you around this 2022 Catalina Legacy Edition, model number 293 QBCK. Okay, so this is not a floor plan video or a sales video. This is just a how-to video. So I'm going to show you some of the features and how they work. Okay, first of all, you have regular scissor type stabilizers. It takes a 3/4 inch crank or a 3/4 inch socket on a drill. All right, and here we have our outside kitchen. So we have a griddle here, and you'll push both these down. Whoops, I'm sorry my camera work. Both these down and pull it out. Just keep in mind that this line here is a quick connect LP hose. Let me see if I can get it up there. Oh well. Okay, and you can see you have a female side here. This is the on-off lever here, and then you got a male one over here. One goes to the back of the grill, and then the other side goes, let's see where we're at, to this one right here. If you can see it right there. So that's where that plugs into. Okay. Storage, that blue sprayer is just, there'll be at least one port, possibly two on this trailer where you can plug it in to spray things off. I'll show them to you as we go past them. And then you have a regular AC refrigerator that'll run off shore power. Okay. Power awning with LEDs. This is your black tank flush here. So basically after you dump the black tank, you can leave the valve open, and then you can hook the hose of the dump station onto here, turn it on, it'll spray out the inside of the black tank, clean off the sensors, that sort of thing. It's a good thing to do if there's an operating hose that hasn't been run over or something like that at the dump station. Always do that. It's a good habit to have. So just remember, like it says here, make sure the valve is open before you turn it on. Okay. This is a range hood vent. So this is the vent for your range hood. That's got a fan in it, obviously, and a light. So when you turn the fan on to vent it, you always want the baffle in here free. There's two tabs, one on each side. You want to push up on them so the baffle inside flaps freely when you're venting. Otherwise, when you're traveling or in storage, you can just snap it shut. But make sure if you're venting to the outside that you open that up. This is the water tank or water heater from the outside. You can see everything's wet because we just washed it. Now, the thing to know is the water heater tank is right behind here. It's attached to this, and of course there are bypass valves on it. You have to learn about that for winterizing and dewinterizing, that sort of thing, if you're going to do it yourself. But the thing to know is you never run it without water in it. You never turn on the electric heating element or the gas without water in the tank. There's water in the tank now because it's been summerized, or it's in camping mode, so it's dewinterized. And so right now there's water in the system, and your water tank is full of, your hot water tank is full of water. Just make sure that if you drain it, you always refill it before you turn it on. Where you would drain it is right here. This is a 1 1/16 6-point socket, okay? And it's got an anode rod attached to it, so you need that socket plus an extension, a 6-inch extension, plus a bar or ratchet to break it free. Now this rocker switch right here, on and off, it's off right now, that controls the electric heating element that's behind this cover here. So keep that in mind, that there is an electric heating element there, and that's where you would turn it on and off. There are also switches inside for this water heater, but keep in mind about this one right here. And like I said, never run it without water in it. Okay? I'll show you the other switches when we get inside. So this is just cable and satellite through, and we have power here. Usual things. So this is your hitch. It's a Husky centerline weight distribution hitch with built-in sway control. So we'll show you how that operates when you pick up your trailer. But that's it there, and then your brackets are already attached over here. Okay. Now you have two LP tanks that are full. This is your power tongue jack here. It goes up and down, and plus it has a hitch light on it. If it ever fails, let me look back in here for a minute so I can see where I don't see where they have the cranks at this moment. So I'll look around for them before you pick up. But the bottom line is, if this was to fail, you can pull this rubber plug out here, and then you can crank it from there. So keep in mind that that's an option. Also, you got a deep cycle marine battery, and this is a kill switch for the battery. If you ever want to shut it off when you put it in storage or something like that, you can shut it off right there. You don't have to disconnect the cable. Now this has a solar controller right here. Let me just get in here so I can see it. So right now the battery is 13.8 volts. Let me see if I can cycle through here. Okay, there we go. So right now we're gaining 1.96 amps from the solar panel. You see the picture of the solar panel here, and it's pointing towards the battery. So 1.96. It's an overcast day. It all depends on how clear the day is and what angle the sun is at over the trailer. So it'll change throughout. If it's a bright sunny day, these numbers will change throughout the day as the sun, or as the earth spins around the sun. So keep that in mind. Let's see what else we have here. 14.4. Those are amp hours, I believe. Okay, and now we're to 1.87. It's changed a bit. So there you go. That was voltage. Whoops, the one I was just at was voltage. If I can get back over to it now. There we go. So there you have that. So you can just you can check the status of your battery. You can see what you're gaining from your solar panel, how many amp hours you have, that sort of thing from this device right here. Okay, that's a solar controller. Okay. Let me let you know too that there's a packet inside with all the literature for this trailer in. You'll see paperwork on everything. I just talked about the solar controller and the solar panel. There'll be literature in their packet. Plus, you can always go to manufacturers' websites. Just look and see who manufactured it, what model it is, and you'll be able to find manufacturers' videos and information on it too, if you want to learn more about it. I mean, so that's another way to learn also. Okay. All right, so that's your dump hose, and that's just an adapter for your shore cord. Past the slide room. So you have your dump valves down here. Remember, I told you that you always want to leave the black valve open when you're flushing it. That's the black tank valve right there. That's toilet water and waste. The gray one's sink and shower water. And these two, this red and blue one, those are the low point drains for the plumbing. That has to do with winterizing. If you don't know this, you may know all this stuff already, but those are the low points. Okay. Behind here is just a shower slash sprayer. You can hose down kids and dogs and feet and bicycles, whatever you need to do. Right there. You have your 30-foot, 30-amp cord. And I showed you in the front compartment that there was an adapter to adapt this down to a regular 20 amp, so you could plug it in at home if you're packing up and you need to turn on the lights and that sort of thing. Okay, it's pre-wired for a backup camera, so you can see that's the housing there. If you ever want to add one, it goes right there. It's already wired. This rack folds down, of course, and you can put anything you want on it. Most people strap things to it. You can pretty much do what you please with it. Just keep in mind, I'm going to have to pull this down so I can show you this. This thing weighs a ton too to only have one hand to use here, but I'll do it. I don't kill myself. I might have to set the camera down, we'll see. So I'm pulling these pins. So right now it's free and it's heavy, so let me see if I can get a good grip on it so it can come down slowly. There we go. So that's the down position. Obviously you'd put the pins back in if you choose to. Well, you should, period, if you're going to keep it this position, okay? Alright, so first thing to say while we're back here is the manufacturer states that you should inspect the roof every 90 days. So what they mean by inspecting the roof, you're going to go up there or have somebody go up there. Be very careful, of course. Look at all the sealant, all the lap sealant on the roof. Make sure there's no cracking or separation anywhere. The vents, the front termination molding, the rear termination molding, especially around the skylight where it gets hotter, it can thin out. So you always look at that stuff. Also, you're going to look at the roofing attachments and the roofing material to make sure they weren't damaged by low branches or road debris, something like that. So they say do that every 90 days. Most people generally don't inspect their trailer's roof enough, so it's a good thing to do. This is the city water hookup, the most common way to get water to the trailer. Okay. If you don't have plumbing on the campsite you're at, you can pre-fill this this fresh water tank right here. So let's say a lot of the older state parks, they won't. They'll have a fill station when you first pull in the gate, but there's no plumbing on the actual campsites. So that's the case. You would fill this and then use the onboard pump to pump the water. So you can always use all the plumbing even if you don't have city water, as long as you pre-fill this tank here. Okay, this is where that sprayer goes that I told you about, or showed you, the blue one. All right, let me move back around, and we covered all this, so we'll go inside now. Okay, so the first thing we see when we come in the door is this device here. This is the carbon monoxide LP gas detector right here. Okay, it should always be green like it is. If it's not, get it serviced. It's important, obviously. If it goes off, you're going to take everybody outside, leave the door open, shut the gas off, make sure everybody's out, like I said, and then figure out what's going on. But always make sure it's got that green LED on. If not, you get it serviced. Okay? So let's look in here. We have remotes in here somewhere. I don't. Bear with me, please. He's probably still got them in the packet here. Okay, so this was the packet I was telling you about with the literature in it. I'm going to set the camera down for 1 second here, if that's okay. So I can unzip it. Yeah. So there's that. Okay. Should be one more in here, I think. Okay, we're good. So, either way, I'll make sure they're all in here. I should have had that ready. I'm sorry, but you can see this is this one works for the awning light. You know, you can just turn it on white, different colors, flashing, all different things that you want to do with this one. This one is for your fireplace right here, and this one is for your TV. There's also another one for your radio here. I just have to look around for it. Okay, so let me go over this stuff. When it comes to your fireplace here, this works on 110 AC, regular shore power, or regular household current. So you can heat the trailer without using up any of your LP, which you have a limited supply of. But you see, you turn it on there. You can change the color of the crystals in there. You can change the fan speed. See, it's low there, if you can see that, high. And you can also shut it off. There's your temperature there. Okay. And that's your timer. So let me put this back like it was, sort of, so we don't just leave it. There we go. So there's a lot you can do with it. When you put it on high, it really kicks out the heat. So like I said, it runs on AC power, so you don't have to use up your limited supply of LP when it's not super cold out. Okay. This is where your sound comes from. Now, this has a AM/FM radio, right? It has a USB, so you can stream off the USB port here. It also has Bluetooth, so you can stream wirelessly from your phone or your tablet or what have you. It has two speaker zones, Zone 1 and Zone 2. One is inside the trailer, 2 is outside the trailer. And this HDMI is an in, so if you need to go into the system with a, let's say, a Blu-ray player, a portable Blu-ray player, you plug it in behind here, set it right here, and then you just plug straight into it that way. So it's just that HDMI is an in, and it's an easy way to get into the system. And of course, it's all wired together to your television, which is right here. Okay, let me look from this side to see if there's anything remarkable. Yeah, it just swings out basically. So it's got a swing out bracket. Okay. So couch here, obviously. You can drop this table down onto these cleats and turn this into a bed if you choose to. If we come over here, this device here is the power converter. So what this does, converts AC to DC power. It's also a distribution panel. So as long as you're plugged into shore power, this will be 110, 120 AC. They're regular circuit breakers like you'd see at home, and they're all labeled. right? And so then the AC power is converted to 12 volt DC on this side. You got 12 volt fuses here, and they're all labeled. So that's where the 12 volt comes from. Also, as long as you're plugged in, this is a battery tender, so it'll always sense how much energy your battery has and needs, and if it's low, it'll send 10 amps or whatever it needs. If it's topped off, it'll just trickle a couple, but it'll always keep it charged up. Also, when you're pulling down the road, your tow vehicle's alternator will charge your battery too. But this is for when you're plugged in. Now, if the 12 volt side ever gets knocked out, let's say you got a super power surge or a lightning strike and the 12 volt side goes out, always look at these 240s here, because those are the masters. 9 times out of 10, that's where the issue is going to be. Okay, so this is your power converter. Okay, your oven, just so you know, it's got a pilot light down at the bottom, and you have to light it. You would light it here. The burners, I don't know if we got any, if the gas is turned on or not. Let's see here. This is the sparker here. You turn it clockwise to spark. It might take a few minutes to get the gas up here. I want to just leave them on here. You sort of do it a little bit here. Once I just changed the tanks out and that sort of thing. There it goes. So there's no gas in the line. Once you're doing this, you won't have any trouble. You just click it once and it'll light. But when you first put on the tanks, there's always going to be air in the line. So that's it for that. For the pilot light, which is down here, if you see, I can spark it right there. You see it sparking back there? I do that again by turning this clockwise. So what you're going to do is you're going to go to the oven knob, which is all the way to the right. Go to the picture of the flame, which is pilot light. Depress it. Keep it depressed. Then you're going to spark it with this hand till you see it light down here. After it lights, you still hold this in for another 10 seconds or so to heat up the thermocouple. Then you go to operating temperature and it cycles as an oven does. When you shut it off, the flame goes out, but so does the pilot light. So you have to relight the pilot light each time you use the oven. So this is a 12 volt DC refrigerator. So it's got a lot of room. You know, the gas absorption type, you can run off gas. This one just uses 12 volts, but it's a lot deeper. So you get a lot more cubic feet in here. It's just a bigger refrigerator because it's so much deeper. This shuts it on and off. I don't know, you don't see these all too often, but just remember that's what this is. You can actually turn your refrigerator on and off. Okay, this is the range hood I told you about. The fan and the light. Always open the baffle on the outside when you're venting. Your microwave works like any other microwave. Okay, I always got to remember to back up. I get ahead of myself here. Let me just look in here, see, make sure I don't forget anything. Yep, we're good. Now the control panel, when we first walked in the door, this is for your power awning. So you can see, there it is right there, in and out. Never leave it out unattended. Always roll it in when you're not going to be at the campground. Your slide room in and out right here. Your water heater, remember I showed you the switch in the lower left hand corner that lights that turns on the electric heating element? Well, this is how you light it on gas right there. That's what this vault light's related to right here. So keep that in mind. To turn your water pump on, you do this. Remember I told you use the water pump for pumping water out of the fresh water tank? You also use it when you're winterizing the trailer. Your interior and exterior light, and then you have your battery, which is totally charged. You've got a third of tank of fresh water. Black is empty, gray tanks are empty. So they graduate up in 1/3 increments as it fills. Once you get past 2/3, you got to start thinking about dumping the gray in the black tank. Okay, all right. So let me look around and see if I forgot anything in this room. I think I have it. There should be a thermostat. Oh, here we go. You have your thermostat right here. It's an analog thermostat. So thing to remember is this is the fan speed here. Always keep it on auto. Don't forget to turn this up and down depending on whether you're heating or cooling. So heat is one click this way. You can hear it kick on there. When you're running it and you shut it off, it'll still run. The flame goes out immediately, but keep in mind it'll purge itself. So it'll run up for up to 2 minutes after you shut it off. That's normal. And then you turn the air. The next one over is fan. Fan is just the air conditioner running without the compressor. It just circulates air. And then if you go all the way over to cool, that's full air conditioning. Okay. So let me shut it back off here. Okay. So it's very simple. It's all analog. Okay. So The bathroom works like any other, the sink and the shower work like any other sink and shower. This is a GFCI here. There'll be a couple of them in this trailer, but just keep in mind that all the plugs, even if it's not physically a GFCI you're looking at, when you look at the plugs, they're all wired through one of these. So if you're outside using a coffee pot and it pops, you're going to reset it inside. Alright, so your toilet, the thing is about RV toilets, if you don't know, the black tank is directly below, right? So when you get to the campground, you hook up your power and your water, you'll come in here, you'll put 1 dose of chemical right in there, and then you'll step on the pedals. Because water is hooked up, it'll come swirling out, and you put at least a gallon of water in the tank with the chemical. Some people use more water, it's up to you, but you can't use it dry. You have to have chemical and water in it when you start using it, otherwise the smell will be terrible and it can get clogged up. So always make sure to put that at least 1 gallon of water and 1 dose of chemical. Always run the fan up there with the shower too to pull the humidity out. Okay, so this folds up into like a couch here too. He doesn't have it all folded up right now, but right now this one's in like a bed, but there's different configurations for it. And then you got your 3 bunks here, so there's a lot of sleeping room. Emergency window there, TV hookups here, so you got everything you need. Okay, just so you know, when you're winterizing, that sort of thing, behind this panel here, you see there's 1 screw there. All the screws in this trailer are number 2 square-headed screws, so if you don't have a number 2 bit for your drill, you got to get one number 2 square. And if you remove that, you'd see the water pump, that sort of thing. To the right of it is the water heater and the bypass valve. So you can actually take this panel off just to get a better view of it. So that's the back of your water heater, where you have the bypass valves. Okay. So last but not least, we'll move forward. Okay. So you have emergency window. You have TV hookups here, right? There's storage underneath the bed here, and of course your emergency windows work like this. You push them all the way through. Then you grab hold of the red tab for the screen, and you just pull the screen right out, and then you can escape through that window in an emergency. Okay. Okay. I think that pretty much covers it. Let me look around a bit. I think we did pretty good. Any of the lights that don't come on with the master switch have a button on them, so you can turn them on and off. Okay. All right. Well, thanks for purchasing your trailer here at National RV Detroit. Please remember what I said about inspecting the roof every 90 days. That's an important thing to do. And right now, as I stated, this trailer is in camping mode. All the antifreeze has been purged from the system. The water heater is filled with fresh water. Okay? Thank you.